Qatar, a small country with enormous influence. When you hear the name, you probably think of luxury, futuristic skyscrapers, global diplomacy, and of course, vast natural gas reserves. But behind this modern, powerful image lies a much older story, a story hidden inside its very name. Where did the name Qatar actually come from? What did it mean to people thousands of years ago? And how did this small, seemingly barren peninsula rise to become a global player? Today, we uncover the true history behind the name Qatar. Let's start with the basics. Geographically, Qatar is a narrow peninsula extending from the Arabian mainland into the Arabian Gulf. This unique geography has shaped its destiny from the very beginning. Surrounded by water on three sides, with limited freshwater and a harsh desert climate, this was never a land destined for agriculture. For ancient travelers and settlers, this land wasn't known for its farms. It was known for the sea. Fishing, pearl diving, and maritime trade were the lifelines that defined existence here. Long before the first cities rose from the sand, Qatar was already connected to the wider world through the currents of the sea. The earliest known reference to this region doesn't come from Arabic texts, but from ancient Greek records. On maps as early as the 2nd century AD, Greek geographers like Ptolemy used names like Katara or Katara to describe a coastal region on the eastern side of the Arabian Peninsula. This proves one incredibly important fact. Qatar was known to the ancient world long before the rise of Islam. At that time, the name didn't refer to a modern nation-state with defined borders, but rather to a maritime region, a place defined by its relationship with the coast. So how did Katara become Qatar? As the centuries passed and Arabic became the dominant language of the region, foreign names naturally adapted to Arabic pronunciation and script. The hard C or K sound softened, and the vowels shifted. Qatara gradually evolved into the Qatar we know today. In Arabic, the name became firmly associated with the region's coastal identity, its sea-based livelihoods, and the tribal settlements that dotted the shoreline. The name didn't really change its core meaning, it simply changed its voice, adopting the linguistic style of the people who called it home. Through all the shifts of history, Qatar remained Qatar. For many centuries, Qatar's economy and its entire identity depended almost entirely on one precious resource from the sea: pearls. Before the discovery of oil, this was the region's true treasure. Men would dive deep into the Gulf, often without any modern equipment, holding their breath for minutes at a time and risking their lives with every descent. The pearls they harvested from Qatar's waters were renowned for their quality and were traded across the ancient world, reaching markets in India, Persia, and even Europe. During this era, the name Qatar became synonymous with endurance, courage, and incredible maritime skill. The sea wasn't just a resource. It was the stage for a daily struggle for survival, and the people here were its masters. With the spread of Islam in the 7th century, Qatar was integrated into the wider Islamic world. Powerful tribal structures formed the backbone of its society, creating a resilient social fabric. Over the next 1,000 years, the region faced invasions and the rise and fall of various regional powers, from the Umayyads to the Ottomans. Yet, through all this turbulence, Qatar maintained a strong, distinct local identity. Its name continued to appear in regional records, poems, and maps, always linked to its strategic position on the coast. Then, in the 19th century, a new power entered the Gulf: Great Britain. As the British Empire sought to secure its trade routes to India, Qatar, like its neighbors, came under British influence. It became a protectorate, with Britain overseeing its foreign affairs. But even during this period of colonial pressure, the name Qatar remained unchanged. The people, led by their ruling families, protected their identity and their heritage. The name had already survived ancient empires and regional dynasties. It would survive modern politics, too. In the mid-20th century, everything changed. In 1939, oil was discovered. After World War II, the exploration and export began in earnest, and the wealth it generated was staggering. But the real game-changer came later, with the discovery of the North Field, the world's largest single non-associated natural gas field. This transformed Qatar completely. The leadership made a critical decision. They would not just spend this wealth, but invest it. They poured resources into world-class education, into creating global media networks like Al Jazeera, and into positioning themselves as key players in global diplomacy. Suddenly, the name Qatar took on a new meaning. It now stood for energy power, global influence, and a bold modern vision. The journey from a community of pearl divers to a nation of global leaders was nothing short of extraordinary. Today, Qatar is a name known all around the world, famous for hosting the World Cup, its stunning architecture, and its role on the international stage. Yet even now, its ancient name still carries the echoes of its past. It still speaks of a connection to the sea, of trade and movement, and of a strategic geography that places it at a crossroads of cultures. Qatar did not erase its past to build its future. It built upon it, using its historical resilience and its connection to the wider world as a foundation for its modern ambitions. So the name Qatar is far more than just a word on a map. It is a story. A story written by water, shaped by survival, and carried through thousands of years of history. From the ancient Greek Katara on dusty scrolls to the gleaming skyscrapers of modern Doha, the name has endured. And as the name endured, so did the nation itself, always looking toward the horizon, just as its ancestors looked out across the sea. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories like this.